Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. And today I have a very exciting update for my project Level Up, which is a project that was created by Sophie Alexandra. She's absolutely wonderful. I love her so much. She's such an incredible planner, and she does a lot of planning projects, and she creates beautiful looks every single time. I love her for like inspiration and stuff, and she's really fun and very nice person, so definitely go check her out. Her channel will be linked down below. And I have two pads that I will be updating you on, because last time we were almost finished with my level 5, and then we also rolled in my level 1 palette, so hopefully you'll enjoy that. In case you're new here, hi, my name's Sascha. I love indie makeup, I love colorful makeup, I love panning especially, and also just trying new products. So I hope you're gonna enjoy all that there is, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing and give this video a thumbs up, and comment down below if you've ever tried Project Level Up. And now for the update. In case you don't know how Project Level Up works, by the way, it essentially is kind of like gamified version of panning, where you have to hit certain amount of pans but also no pan left behind a palette, and that really depends on what level you are currently at. Each level is a little bit more difficult, so when you're on level 1, you have to hit one pan in that palette and use every single shade once, so you no pan left behind it once. Then for level 2, you hit 2 pans and you have to use each shade at least twice, and then so on and so forth until you get to level 5. And after level 5, you can opt to just roll over to level 1 again, or you can continue. I think it would be super hard to hit 6 pans within a span of a year, or like half a year, kind of, because it takes a while. It would essentially be another Bandai palette, you know. So I was able to get to level 5, and now I'm back to level 1, and we're going to be updating both of those, because for my level 5 I was able to hit the usage goal, and I had 4 pans instead of 5, so I only needed to do 1 pan for this update. So let me get my palettes and we'll get into it. Okay, so first up we have my level 5 palette, which is the Haggard Ecstasy of Saintess palette. If I have a picture from last month, which I believe I have been getting a little bit better at, you know, taking progress pictures and stuff, because I definitely wasn't all that great about it. But I think I have pictures from last month. So this is the Haggard Ecstasy of Saintess palette. I will show you the pictures from last month. And I actually confused it. I needed to do 2 pans on this palette. One was a brown shade, so I was using that one for my brows, and then one was almost white. It was like white with a hint of pink, which is called the Norns. So I only needed to work on those 2, and that's why I also rolled in my level 1, because it's not that hard, and I knew I'm getting quite close to actually getting to the pans. So this is how the palette looks like right now, and I hope you can see that I was actually able to finish my goals. So all of them already had 5 uses, and these 3 in the center had their pans. But I needed to hit a pan on this brown shade called Midnight Oat, I believe. Yeah, Midnight Oat. And that one took me additional 9 uses. So we had 12 uses from the previous month, and then another 9 for last month. So in total, I used this palette 21 times in this particular project. So 21 uses in the project, and it had prior 2 uses, so it took altogether 23 uses to hit this pan. It took forever, and as you can see, it's very like centered pan, because I would obviously use it in my brows, so it would just literally be a brow, like a liner brush that I would use for that, and it still took 23 uses, so that one was really hard. And then for the shade the Norns, we had 7 uses prior, and then this month I've used it 16 times, which is a lot. I've used it a lot in my inner corner. It's like almost like a white inner corner, because it looked just like white with a teeny tiny hint of pink. It was really beautiful. I'm kind of sad that I haven't used it for any of my green looks. That could have been really pretty. And then also I would use it a lot to set my primer, to make my base a little bit lighter for like a more pastel-y looks or cool tone looks, which actually worked. So 7 uses and another 16 uses. So in this project altogether, it was here for 23 uses, and it had 5 prior uses in on this shade. So to hit a pan on this, it took me altogether 28 uses, which is so much. It took forever. And I actually was able to finish this palette, the levels, on the 10th. So that's a week ago. That's exactly a week ago. I cannot even believe that. Yeah, so I was working on this for a very long time. If you want to know how many uses are in each shade currently, so I've used the Norns 28 times, Saintess 11, Heart of Saintess 12 times, Kenosis 8, and Midnight Oath 23. And when I rolled this palette in, it was used for 6 prior looks, so I also count the number of looks I do with the palette. And it doesn't matter whether I use that palette for only 1 shade or 5 shades. Every single time I use that palette, I count it as 1 look for like 1 day of wearing. And it had 6 prior looks, and now it has 36 looks done with this palette. So I was able to use this palette for 30 different looks. Most of them are pink or purple. And this palette, when I rolled it in, it weighed 109.73 grams, and now it's 108.28 grams. So we were able to use up 1.45 grams of product, if I'm counting correctly, and these all have 1 gram. So I almost used up 1.5 eyeshadows, which makes sense because this one is very close to dying. And then obviously I've used these two a lot. Like there's a very large dip happening in them. So this is done, thankfully. I like this palette. Like I've actually been enjoying the pinks, but it's very monochromatic palette, so it doesn't really allow you to do much. And since I had to hit 5 pans, it was pretty tough. But I'm just glad it's done, and I have another 5 more pans in my collection. So that's for the Haggard palette. And then in last month's update, I rolled in my level 1, which was the Avatar The Last Airbender Earth palette from Lethal. This was their launch last year. It was around this time, or like it was in summer, I believe. It's a beautiful green palette. I hope I have a picture from last month, or maybe even a video, so I will show you how that looked like. This one is my level 1, so I only need to use each shade 1 time and hit 1 pan. Let me pop up the picture of last month so that you can see how it looks like, and let me walk you through how many times I've used this palette. I'm actually using it today as well, so I will share with you which shades I'm actually using. So the first shade, called Metal Blending, I'm actually wearing today in this like center of my lid, and that one I used only once today. Then the 575 I've used once as well. I've used it yesterday for yesterday's look. In my like inner third, I use that a lot. Lake Laogai, which is this beautiful, warm, bright green. I've used that once as well, also yesterday. Then we have the shade Basing Say. I also used that yesterday. It was only used once. Then we have the shade Kiyoshi, which I have in the inner part of the lid, and then in the inner corner and lower lash line. Kiyoshi I've used 3 times. today, yesterday, and then a couple days ago in my inner corner, I believe. Then we have the one shin tone, which is the last shade on the second row. I have that as the deepening up shade in the outer corner, and I've used that only once. Then we have Bedroom Mall. I've used that yesterday and only one time. Then Daily I have as the main crease shade, and I've only used that once. And Omashu I'm wearing today in my brows, mixed in with like a beigey matte shade from different palette to make it more like brow appropriate, and I've also used that only once. So I was able to no pen left behind this palette, and I only did that in 2 days because I was focusing on the Haggard palette, and as I said, I hit my last pan last week, like literally a week ago, so I didn't really had that much time to work on my Earth palette, but it only took me 2 looks to completely no pen left behind it, and this is how it looks like today. And if my camera is doing its job, you might even spot a fun little intruder over here, and that is a pan in the shade Kiyoshi. Kiyoshi has been used many times before I rolled it into this project because this palette was in my Project 20 uses earlier this year, and this is my favorite shade from the palette. It also has, it was also shattered when it first arrived to me, so I had to repress it, so it's not as full in the pan as the other shades because it's shattered. I think also with the shade like Lao Guys, so these two don't have a full pan in them. I've been able to save most of the shade, but little pieces were lost during repressing. So I had an advantage a little bit, but this shade, as I said, I've used 3 times in the project, and it had 12 prior uses, so altogether it took me 15 uses to hit this pan. And since it's mostly my inner corner shade, that's still like a lot, because I know people who've hit pan in their avatar palettes after like 6 or 7 uses, so 15 uses in total is still quite a bit of uses. And I'm just so happy, you know, that this has been used a bit more. I do love this palette. When we rolled it in, it had 23 uses, like looks done with that palette, and now it's 26, so only 3 looks were necessary for this, and it stayed the same weight. It's still 129.23 grams of product, obviously within like 2 looks and then one more just for a singular shade. You wouldn't really spot any difference, like that wouldn't do any damage. But I'm just very, very happy that we were able to finish it even in such a short span of time, and we can level up to level 2. I can't believe that it was actually that simple, but I think what helped is that it's just a 9 pan, so usually I only need 1 or 2 looks to get through all the shades. And now we're gonna be rolling in a new palette, so let me get my phone ready because it's currently charging, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just looked at the footage and I found out that you haven't seen the spinning wheel, like the rolling, the part where I was rolling the palette, but thankfully I was like, you know, clever enough that I actually screen recorded my phone, because sometimes it's kind of hard to see on camera, so I made sure to like have a footage of it just in case, so that I can do a b-roll. But I'm just gonna show you what it picked, and I'm actually very happy with it because it's a fun palette that I have been working on a bit a couple days ago, or like a couple of weeks ago, because it was in my Pendos eyeshadows, which is amazing because I do love the idea of actually having more pans on this palette, and I also want to use it in this season, and that is the Spooked palette by Gourmand Girls. I've had this palette for 3 years now, it's definitely my first palette from Gourmand Girls, and I know that I wanted it for a very, very long time until it finally came to monolith. So this is how it looks like. I already have one pan, and since we're at level 2, I need to use each of the shades 2 times and hit 2 pans, which is gonna be amazing. I love these shades. They make me super, super happy, and it's such a wonderful color story. I'm definitely gonna try to hit a pan on this shade because it's very close to, I think, like, judging from this pan, like, I think it's not gonna take that long, and they have very similar amount of uses, so it should be around the same. And then I don't know, I mean, I don't really want to do any of the mattes because that would probably take forever. But then, like, I have similar shade like this in the Beauty Bay Mini Charms that I'm now trying to pan in my Pendos eyeshadows. This one, I just got rid of the Haggard palette, and like it's not really a shade that I wear a lot. We'll see. I'm gonna wear it 2 times, and maybe I'm gonna realize that I really want to wear this. But the other next best bet is the shade Trig, which is like a gold green, which yes, I have been using a lot, but also I still have a lot of green palettes that I'm trying to use either in my Project 20 uses or in my Pendos palette. So like it would fit with that. And this one looks very emollient because like this one is too dark. I feel like it would take me quite a long time to actually hit a pan on this, even though it is a bit more squishier shade. We'll see. Like, I'm definitely gonna try to hit a pan on this shade called Spirit. And for the rest, we'll see. After the 2 uses, I'm gonna decide which of these shades I actually want to hit pan on. But I would love to have at least a couple pans here because it's been in my collection for a while, and it is truly a palette that I love. I've already used it 23 times so far, and it's just a perfect little palette to have with me. So this one I will definitely be happy to use. I was so happy when it got rolled in. Like, it was so amazing. So yeah, I'm super excited about this. And yeah, that's this one. So let me know how long you think it's gonna take me to level up. This has 14 shades. 14 shades, so that probably means I need to use this for like 3 looks to go over all of these shades. So I'm probably gonna need to use this like around 6 times to get my 2 uses in every single shade. I mean, I can use this shade in my brows, so that also makes it a little bit easier, and I can mix this with a beige and make it into a blush. I can also wear this as a highlighter because it actually looks really beautiful as a highlighter. That could also be a way for me to use it. So yeah, I think in like 2 to 3 uses I will be able to no pen left behind it at least once. So the 2 uses shouldn't be a problem because I do really want to reach for this palette, and I have a whole month. So if I'm gonna wear it for like, I don't know, a week, like a work week, I can very easily do the uses, and then we'll see. But let me know if you think I'm gonna be able to level up in a month. And if you have this palette, let me know how you enjoy it, and what are like your favorite color combinations with this one. I think I definitely want to do like the kind of orangey with the brown as a lid shade, and as a crease shade, and then the pink and the purple as a lid shade. Right now I'm looking at that and I'm just really enjoying that. So I think I'm gonna wear it in maybe next week for work with like maybe this one in the inner corner, the white one. I think that could look really pretty. But let me know down below. And that's gonna be everything for my Project Level Up update. I don't even know how many, like what the number of updates we've already gone through, but it's at least 6 or 7. Yeah, I think this is update number like 7. So yay, this is a good luck. This is a good luck charm for sure. So have a wonderful, wonderful day. Like this video, and I'll be super happy to see you tomorrow for another one. Bye.